we feel like that was kind of a new style that I've been seeing. That maybe kind of he's almost finessed while he's in America.
I mean, that could be true. I do know that he grinds a lot. I won't say I know who he grinds with. You know, I'm not going to be that guy. But I do know that he, obviously, you know, as you're a top player, you're going to be grinding a lot. He's going to a lot of these American tournaments, and he doesn't take it for granted. He goes there and grinds all damn weekend for a good reason. He needs to show what he's learned to the test and see if he can pass his exam against Raflow for sure.
Okay, but here we go. I have to see how kind of Sisqui does deal with this Palu, which has been such a pain for him in the past.
That up air, man. Covers so, you know, it covers a wide area. It's so good on the platform to read tech chasing. Has to be, watch out how you're landing on that platform and where you're going to be taking to left or right or even staying on the plat.
Yeah, I do feel like this is going to be a key thing as well. That,
and here we go already,
yeah, Sisqui does need to be careful. And again, first
of many, man. That's what it is. It's the Mario Party minigame.
Oh, okay. Good patience with Sisqui. Just seeing the opportunity. I mean, that was a scary thing to kind of bet it all on there. But regardless, Sisqui does make it back.
That was just the practice round. You know
that
what I mean?
was.
When you press the practice part, just to know what the rules mean. Like, oh, okay, I understand now. Again, that up air is going to be chasing him. Going to be really good. You know, seeing the left or right. You know, depending on the eye, it doesn't really matter. You can cover a lot of range.
Again, now he's obviously Raflow at ledge there. Good use of teleport though, just to kind of put himself around Sisqui. So going to go high and just sort of dart down. And again, the up air comes out with a few hits of the neutral air.
Liking the reverse nairs from Raflow. I feel like it's safer on the back part. It seems to be that way. He seems to be just drifting away after the back hit of Nair and kind of keeping Sisqui guessing.
Oh,
but never mind.
no!
Going to keep us all guessing and just flying all the way off to the left side. Raflow doesn't even want the ledge trapping situation. He just wants a fresh stock, apparently.
And I was getting ready just to praise the recovery, but no, Raflow just fallen to his death. Now this has given Sisqui the opportunity.
And I feel like Sisqi's going to be counting more than his blessing for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I do feel like this kind of matchup is one where you don't want to be juking.
Yeah.
You cannot be scrapping with Palutena because that is just going to be, it's just bad news for you.
Well, yeah, it's good that you say that because obviously, you know, zoners in this game, or the top tier zoners anyway, have really good boxing options, but you can't really box too well with Raflow's Palu because I feel like the way he plays Palu, he's very, very back air heavy. He likes these air-to-air games. So it's like, cool, I like your big hitboxes, but I've got a back air that's invincible. Do you know what I mean? It ignores what you put out. So it can be really annoying and really daunting for Sisqui to kind of challenge him in the air. And I feel like Raflow likes to force these air-to-air situations. And now we're back onto the ledge.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Set it up, baby.
Oh, okay. No, Sisqui just casually slipping by there. But unfortunately, the explosive flame coming out and catching Sisqui while he's in the air, taking to take that stock away.
Yeah, you said about Sisqui looking a bit shaky, and I kind of get what you mean. It just seems to be these starter games. I feel like Sisqui might be a little bit of a slow burner, but once he gets that adaptation set in, it's like now. Yeah. What do you do now? You know what I mean? He's put you at the ledge. The minigame is definitely in Sisqui's favor right now, but thank God Raflow takes a breather and brings it back to center stage. It's his time to shine.
And again, this advantage state from Raflow is ridiculous. You make one mistake, open up one single bit of opportunity with Raflow, and that can just spell disaster, as we saw there. That was literally, Sisqui slipped up for 1 second.
We got SDs for everybody, apparently, but did you see the French dimension all sat out?
Oh, yeah.
They are all French, by the way. Be afraid.
And I know, I just know, we can't see chat right now. I know BMS are going to be in the chat as well. They are going to be cheering on their boy.
Absolutely, you know, why not?
They were there for Bloom, now they're here for Raflow as well.
BMS star boy, man.
There was a lot of BMS at this tournament as well.
Yeah, there's just a lot of Frenchies.
There's just a lot of Frenchies here, yeah. But regardless, yeah, the really good stuff from Raflow there. It's just what we're talking about, like, obviously that insane like ledge trapping as well is kind of good. It's absolutely key, and we saw a bit of it there where he was getting a lot of damage, especially on, I think that was the first or second stock. And then after that, just keeping up that ridiculous advantage state constantly.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh!
I am interested in this.
Okay, not what I expected from either player, to be honest.
And I think they're going to just go to a different stage, or?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we are recent. And I know that, like, Sisqui does occasionally like to swap off the Dark Samus to the Samus, but I've never worked out why, other than just a
I mean, the only difference I know is, I believe, I think it's the hit lag, from the, like, the electricity type of hits, and also because of the a lower charge shot from Dark Samus, I believe. Otherwise, I actually don't know what the reasoning is for switching.
And obviously, I know...
Maybe it's just a comfort pick.
I feel like Twitch chat are going to murder me if I get this wrong, but like I feel like, if I remember correctly, Samus and Dark Samus have different roles as well. Because Samus kind of almost like she sort of weaves backwards and forwards, but with Samus, she actually just like she rolls into the morph ball away.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it real as always. I don't really see Sisqui as like a role person. He seems to be more of like an up B masher. You know what I mean? Like if he's gonna mash a defensive option, it's usually the up B. It's the panic button, which I understand. Yeah. You know? So I don't really see them as a roller, so I don't know why that would matter to them, but, you know, hey-ho.
We'll see. We'll have to see. Again, sometimes I do feel with Sisqui as well, is that, like, occasionally it might just be a mentality thing as well. Like, you know, I'm not winning the Dark Samus. We'll go to Samus instead.
I am confused on why he went back to Palu. Maybe he told Sisqui that he was, like, going Palu, and then, I don't know, because it's FD. So.
Yeah, and I feel like definitely you wouldn't take the Kaz to final destination, that's for sure.
Was like, hey man, I don't want to fight that.
Regardless though, lovely stuff there from Sisqui there, taking full control of the ledge and just making sure he took the stock away.
Good DI out on the DI, by the way, on the down tilt, by the way. Didn't want to get involved in that at all. Managed to find the fair, you know, found himself in the lead. Sisqui just needs to get back onto the center stage. Okay, forces us away at their aggressive approach to the center stage of the fair.
And again, I loved immediately after that aggressive approach, he then just retreated it away because it's saying, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna push it. Like, I've got, you know, I've got my hits in, but I don't need to rush. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna play this slow. I'm gonna play this methodical.
Charge up just a little bit. Okay, shoots him in the back. Jesus. Just forces him again. I feel like Sisqui's been very aggressive in these disadvantage states, just forcing his way and just, you know, make sure it's apparent. You know, I want this to put you in on the ledge. I want the mini game my way.
And again, the flow is just, you know, having to dive down there. Was struggling a little bit to find the stock. Does finally with that neutral air. But Sisqui managed to tack on a lot of damage. But again, you could see Sisqui recoil backwards in the chair. And you know he was trying to SDI as hard as possible to get out of that nair chain.
I feel justified, but that's exactly what I'd be doing at home, man. Like, damn.
My whole body would be twitching. I know that much. I get stuck in it, like, especially as a main Bowser, like, I get stuck in a net. Like, I'm taking 70 or 80 or even just lose to my
Mario Kart DI? That's what I'd be doing, man. The steer. Like, get me out of there quickly, man. Please. I'm in trouble. Help. And Sisqui had a lot of help, too. Third outside B. I don't know what move he was trying to press. He's definitely panicking, and I can see why the anxiety's setting in. But either way, again, these aggressive landings.
Yeah.
Whether he's forcing himself to the center or forcing his way back down, it's always with a button. That back air is a huge button.
Okay, just shooting it point blank does give Raflow an opportunity, but he really does need to take the stock quite quickly. He doesn't find the sweet spot on the back air, but again, Sisqui just hanging on, but he's got to get past this ledge trapping, which even with that forward air, he still hasn't done.
Bro, Sisqui is pressing, and I kind of respect it. He's not giving any respect to Raflow right now. Raflow's kind of having to think about what he does, because if he messes up, Sisqui's already back into his advantage state with a button. And it's again minigame time. And
oh my god!
Finish! Never mind.
Not quite.
Second
not
chance at hell. And oh wow, the downer off the side. Sisqui's doing everything he can in his arsenal to get Raflow off the stage.
Okay, still hanging on though, but that is so close to death there. And then the charge shot. You actually did see, I think, that Raflow went for the down B to reflect it. It just didn't come out in time.
I thought you went for up B. I thought you tried to teleport.
Up B instead?
I thought you tried to teleport. You might be right though, but I thought you tried to teleport. Either way though, I think that was a really commanding game for Sisqui, and it really kind of set a mood for me. It really feels like Sisqui feels like when he's in a disadvantage state, as long as he gets his buttons out, he can kind of force Raflow to stay off me. If your combos aren't tight, if your strings aren't actual combos, if they're just strings, hey man, I'm just going to rip them apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're not tight, it's over. I feel like Raflow might feel like he has to, like, you know, oh man, I got to back off. Yeah. Or they can be like, if you want to keep pressing buttons, bro, I'm Palutena. I can use my back air and kind of like, you know, my up air that has more range to kind of like, you know, settle against it. But it just feels like Sisqui just feels like he can afford to throw out these buttons when he's in trouble. Yeah. And that's what seems to be getting him out of these disadvantageous positions, because Samus's disadvantage, Samus's disadvantage state isn't the best. So you have to be a character like Palu that can punish it well, but the thing is, I feel like there's a little bit of fear that Sisqui is installing it.
Yes, absolutely. And I just, again, like, we touched on it, but like, Sisqui's aggression was so kind of unexpected, but it was so good.
Yeah.
And just like being able to, completely shift from kind of that. We were almost like praising that slow, methodical gameplay we were seeing.
Right.
And then suddenly Sisqui was just like, you know what?
Let me press
Screw it.
buttons.
I don't care.
I want to press buttons.
Yeah. Right, game 3 here though. Fresh chance for Raflow to get back in to see what he can do against the Samus.
Yo, Raflow is relentless with these nairs, man. He's shameless with it. He pressed it like 5 times again, seeing a 7th one.
When you got a good move, you might as well press it.
Why not, man? There's a lot for you, as everybody already knows. The back air trading, and man, not a good trade at all. And you just can't contest dash attack or back air.
And Raflow just saying, you know what, why not? Throw that forward to smash out. Connects and gets a pretty, crucial start as well. Get stuff started. But again, Sisqui immediately dropped down from the Halo, back on the aggression.
Yeah, I feel like Sisqui's game plan seems to be just on the offense. Just want to let up. And, oh, wow, the charge shot lingering enough to take away the teleport.
Sisqui, you good? You good down there? Okay, he had to jump. He's fine. But regardless, that did actually offer up an opportunity for Flo to get something started here.
He's been put on the ledge this whole time, man, just because of that one mistake. That is so tough. Okay. Charge shot.
Again, the up-airs just chaining into each other. This is what we're talking about when Raflow finds a window. He absolutely takes it all the way to the bank.
Yep.
Getting a lot of damage on it again. But the aggression from Sisqui still not letting up forward at the ledge as well.
Ooh,
it's the
so
down
good.
smash.
That was so good. The lingering fair was so good to kind of like keep that Raflow away. He had to approach the ledge and in an unsafe way, and that down smash was waiting for him. Back throw off the stage. It's time to set up the minigame, Smart.
Yeah, you're back at the ledge, but the forward air does break up the sequence there. Finally, Raflow finds the opportunity to get in. Now, again, we've gone full role reversal here. As Sisqi's on the ledge, got to get past all this.
Feeds him the air dodge, doesn't punish it too much, so Raflow not exactly the hungriest, apparently. Has to settle on how he's going to finish the food.
And I have to say that. I'm not saying, the Palu's like, bad counter or anything. I've been seeing a lot on Twitter about, how this is a mid-tier. All I'm saying is he threw out a grab and didn't get punished. And I had time to throw out a nair as well.
Anyway. Chat definitely going to eat you for that comment. I'm not going to lie. They're not going to like that one, Smart. And again, a fair off the ledge, just forcing his way back into the center. Seen it again and again. Sisqui just doesn't want to accept it.
And again, these two just diving at each other. The forward air, that big old lanky leg. It's going to
time now, though. How do you finish the stock? Sisqui just throwing out the up B. Raflow can get a lot of punish off this.
Yeah, this is kind of the trouble as well with Sisqui, because as much as he's been on the aggression, I feel like once sort of Flow's like in there, once he's in his face, it's so difficult for Samus actually to kind of like bat her away. Oh, but you know what? I thought Flow had another stock.
Was that baby charge shot into dash attack?
Yeah.
Conversions.
So there's actually a little bit of kind of like, there's kind of a sign on like Samus about when you got kind of like the charge shot just before it's full, and it's when the like kind of charging effect reaches the end of her cannon on her arm, and that's kind of your tell that you've got one like charge away from the full.
Okay.
And that's the one that like connects into your grabs. Yeah. That's the one that connects into your dash attacks, whatever you want it to connect to really. But that's your one, and I feel like Sisqui just went for that one, went for the sort of the shot just before it's full, just to throw it out, so it didn't send the flow too far. But the dash attack will. Yeah,
really good awareness to just capitalize on that and seal that stock. That game was definitely more commanding for Sisqui, I feel. I feel like this is what I mean, he's kind of like I said, he's a slow burner. He's now kind of setting the tone now. You know what I mean? He seems to be commanding neutral. Yeah. Until it gets to the point where he gets hit, when it's his turn, it seems to be like, okay, man, I'm the maestro, you need to follow my orders, Raflow. And all Raflow is saying right now is, yes, sir, oui, monsieur, apparently.
And again, it's like, what we saw in game 1 was obviously where sort of Raflow's ridiculous advantage state was just taking command. But as you say, now that sort of Sisqi's turned on that next gear, now that he's gone in the aggression, it's much more difficult for Raflow to, get kind of much started here without kind of Sisqui just returning fire.
Yeah, definitely. It does seem to be like there's like a war of attrition for sure, but I feel like Sisqui's starting to pull more tricks out the bag. Yeah. You just see there a minute ago, you're doing the, jump in the face, wave bounce, charge shot on shield. I didn't even know if he wanted Raflow to get hit by it. Just wants to show the threat of it. I've got tricks in the bag, man. I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve. But how many sleeves do I have is the question that Raflow needs to answer.
Okay, the up smash down and missing. Sisqui back on the ledge here. But
Yeah,
Raflow not able to do much with it. And actually, Sisqui just returning for free. And now we're gone again. We swap sides. So Raflow on ledge. Got to get back. And even the teleports just get
This
stuck.
looks horrible. Oh, man, that looks horrible.
It's literally like it was like one of those sort of bullet mini games you see.
Yeah, that dash attack, the down tilt going to be lingering enough to take that stock. Raflow going to take a deep breath, figure out what he needs to do. This is, you know, starting to falter for Raflow right now. Okay. Nair drag down to up tilt, classic.
147 though, and that stock's still not gone. Sisqui able to get back. The down air narrowly missing. But finally the back air does land, and Sisqi's stock is gone to keep things nice and even between these two.
I'm curious why he went for the grab there. It seems to be like a very scrappy moment. And Sisqui went for one of Samus's laggier options, but maybe just wanted the grab confirm.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, again, Sisqui is just kind of, he's thrown out those grabs a lot more, but sort of just, I think even if it sort of just touches shield, normally it's quite safe.
Yeah.
So I think Sisqui kind of sort of recognizing, you know what, I can throw it out, it's not too much of a sort of a risk for me to do so, and if I get the grab, then that's going to be a lot of damage anyway.
For sure. Look at this onslaught now from Raflow though. The percent kind of just like changed, but oh man, as soon as I say that, this Sisqui just puts him on the ledge, puts him to the test. Okay, good avoid. I feel like they're kind of adapting to each other. Obviously, they've played a lot of sets. They know each other's habits, but they're still able to kind of like develop new ideas and kind of set them in motion. I really like the gameplay from both these players.
Yeah, meanwhile, Raflow has just been taking command. He snatched the driver's seat away from Sisqui. All this aggression from Sisqui has been, you know, working out so well, but since then, Raflow is actually just back in the driver's seat, and that's a lot of damage tagged on. And again, Sisqui is recoiling back and forth. He's trying so hard to get out of this chain, and it's so difficult.
Yeah, Sisqui in a lot of trouble right now. Just took a lot of percent recently. We were praising Sisqui a lot for just being like so methodical, just like M4E earlier, but it seems to be Raflow might have a, you know, a hidden trick in the bag, maybe a trap card.
Okay, again, this is the opportunity here for Raflow to take this to a game 5. He's so close, but you've got to take down the final shot, and
But now, Smar,
it's game on. It's game on.
You give a character like Samus an inch, they'll go further than a mile, bro. They'll go further than a mile.
Yeah, absolutely. Raflow kind of needs to take the stock here and now on this ledge, or things are going to be disastrous.
Yeah. And this is how it starts.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Doesn't even opt for the up B, just waits. Really good patience from Sisqui. Usually they would probably do the up B. Just wants the stage control instead. And okay, feeding the air dodges, but manages to get back on stage.
Yeah, good use of the nair as well, just to catch that high recovery. Sisqui still at the ledge here, but he finally makes it through with that forward air. And again, Raflow really needs to take this stock here and now.
And this is
before Sisqui gets too much more.
He can creep in, looking for the grab as well. Sisqui sniffing that out. Oh, the unsafe grab. Doesn't die from it, though.
Still not enough.
If he gets his charge shot, he does, and he's back in the game, Smart Man. You have to wonder, will Raflow crack?
168%, but the back air does land. Raflow throwing out his fist there. You see BMS in the background popping off as well. We're going to a game 5.
Why does it feel like more French people appeared, apart from Lumar?
They definitely, yeah, of course.
It's like they just multiply. No, but that was a really, like, it was getting scary. You know what I mean? I could hear
really was.
You know when you're underwater in a Sonic game?
Yeah.
I could hear that, you know, and I could hear Raflow just kind of be like, damn, I need to finish this right now. Good on Sisqui for applying that pressure, though.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was a really good turnaround for Raflow. It seemed to be going in Sisqui's way towards the start of that game. And then Raflow was like, nah, man, I'm still in this. I'm pushing this to a game 5.
And again, it just shows that you can never count out Sisqui.
Honestly.
At any moment. I mean, he's number 2 in EU for a reason.
Yep.
And it's because this player, he knows how to make the comebacks. He was down for a lot of that game and still brought it down even into that last hit situation.
I just feel like comebacks always benefit a character like Samus because they have a lot of options, but they don't actually need to be near you to apply pressure. And in those situations where you need to kill and your opponent is still applying pressure from so far away, it's like, damn, how the hell do I get near him and take that final stock?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like Sisqui was hanging back a bit at the start, and then when he kind of focused himself in, he was able to get a lot of percent. When Raflow turned it around, Sisqui's like, you know what, back to the drawing board. I'm going to hang back again, and was nearly bringing it back. So, real close game. We're going to end it on Hollow Bastion, though.
Yeah. Of course, no more shenanigans as well. It's still the Palo, it's still the Samus. Keeping it out until the very end. And again, here comes Raflow's advantage state, as that's a lot of damage tacked on within about 15 seconds.
Yeah, both these players are so unforgiving to each other. I feel like Sisqui misinput that side B earlier at the start and took 50. Like, they can be so punishing and brutal to each other. Missing one input can cost you a lot, maybe a stock.
And again, like, you know, we say how unforgiving they are. We saw that Raflow took that, you know, gave that immediate 50 to Sisqui. What did Sisqui do? Immediately return 5 with another 50 back.
Tip for tat for sure.
Okay.
Oh, finds the back air, sneaks it in, and now Raflow. Really good lead. It's up to Sisqui now to kind of like mitigate the situation, find a way to back in this game.
Yeah, and that was an early stock as well for Sisqui to lose. You know, only 64% on Raflow. You know, that's not a small number. Gradually increasing as Sisqui does find his hits, but he does need to try and find his hits. Good use of patience there. I love the way to use the back air and then finding that stock as well at the end there. Lovely stuff from Sisqui to even that right back up.
I don't think Raflow even had a chance to attack on any percent too much anyway. I think he got like 12 or 13. Sisqui just doing a really good job of just executing the game plan. Just, you know what, I might be in losing, but I can still get my damage in.
And the explosive flame coming out as well. Gonna get a bit more damage tagged on. Sisqui not really being able to damage Raflow in quite a while here. Meanwhile, Raflow is just finding his hits.
Out of like most players I watch, Raflow seems to be very liberal with the uses of down air. He likes to do down air reads on rolls, and it's very punishing because it brings you back to where you were. So it can be really good on setting you back to the ledge. I like that option from Raflow.
And I like as well, like, most of the time we see it from Raflow, he uses it as a sort of just a quick way to end the end lag as well when he's returning stage. Like you say, he'll use it quite a lot when he's actually just reaching forward, like there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's such a, you know, it has so little end lag as well when you use it on the ground. So Raflow just kind of uses it just to immediately get in a good position.
Okay, now see Sisqui kind of settling in, kind of comfy right now, at home at the ledge. Manages to escape and waste the charge shot though. Has to charge it up again.
Again, both players, again, just waiting for the opportunity. Almost like dancing around each other, just waiting for that single chance to find anything. But Sisqui, again, this aggression is ridiculous.
Good patience from Raflow though. Didn't kind of, you know, accept Sisqui's game plan of kind of running into the forward there. Just waits, but still just can't escape these up Bs. And he's going to dive to the top now. Sisqui's in the lead. It just keeps switching back and forth. These guys are neck and neck, man.
Yeah, this is really now down to Raflow to try and find a stock as quickly as possible, because you do not want Sisqui to get out of hand.
Oh, no.
And that's what can happen very, very quickly, Fabs.
This might snowball, man. This could snowball, depending on the damage.
Okay, Raflow just stopped and stay on ledge.
Good
grab. Yeah, lovely stuff there from Raflow. But still not able to find a stock just yet. Sisqui is just avoiding him entirely.
And doesn't have that much percent tacked on, so, you know, Raflow, if he can get this kill, can definitely settle in. There's the chance now. Doesn't find the kill, though. Sisqui desperately trying to get back to the ledge. Oh, man, that's a whiff grab again. He really, really is desperate for that roll read grab, right, for the back throw, but Sisqui just sniffs out every time. He's not giving it to him. Yeah,
and Raflow is just trying to find something, anything, to take this stock away, because
too much percent.
That is a lot of percentage being climbed on, even more with that dash attack as well after the grab.
Oh.
The charge shot as well. You can see Sisqui was going for that forward tilt. That might have ended it, but there it is, and Sisqui is up in the sky. He's jumping up and down. He's popping off.
That was so... It was so unfortunate. Like, Raflow had it in his hands.
Yeah.
But it just feel like he had too much grease on the hands. I don't know, from the sweat or whatever, and it was just slipping out of his hands. And before you know it, we talked about it was snowballing. It was definitely an avalanche right there. Man.
Yeah.
That ended, crashed, and burned. And somebody get Raflow some help, because
absolutely. That one's gonna sting.
That one is gonna
sting.
Yeah. It was looking really close until that ledge situation. It just feel like throughout the whole set, actually, not even just that game, throughout the whole set, it just felt like Sisqui was just winning those mini games.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the ledge. Every time it was his turn, if he wasn't winning, he tapped on so much percent. Raflow, on the other hand, really, really, really wanted that back throw. And I get why. It's strong, it's potent. But if you're showing your trap card too much, man, I'm just going to eviscerate that and send that to the graveyard.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. But, I mean, you know, still regardless, good stuff to Raflow.
Absolutely.
You know, playing those, the games that you've won were like, so immaculate. And again, I talked about it so much, but his advantage state is just, it's some of the best in Europe.
I think Raflow's advantage state is really hard to contend with.
Yeah.
And I think Sisqui kind of realized that too. He didn't really force himself into situations where, like, I might get killed.
Yeah.
He would reset to the ledge, or he would land aggressively after Raflow's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He kind of had to pick his windows of opportunity. Luckily, he was able to slip by. But for me, it was Sisqui's punish game.
Yes.
Because he was getting beat up sometimes, and he was taking a lot of damage. But when it was Sisqui's turn, he made sure to take a